What's up, man?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Hello
And how are you
and
guys
welcome.
out there doing? Oh, that's right. I forgot they can't answer us.
No, they can't. But
Well,
welcome to the.
I mean, they can
happy hour.
answer us
Yeah,
in
sure.
the chat though. We've got the chat
Yeah.
stuff open.
Or they can just think really hard at us.
Yeah. So.
So
Well,
what
we'll
are
have
we,
to work on the
oh.
whole tele.
telekinesis. Oh wait, no.
No, that's
No,
wrong.
telekinesis
That's
is
what I wanted to
movement.
say. Telepathy. That's the word. We'll have to work on that whole telepathy angle. One of these days.
Not
we'll get it.
telemetry. Not
No.
telemetry. No.
No telemetry.
No.
So
Oh wait, we have a name for this, don't we?
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Sunday Happy Hour live stream.
Hi, and
Hi.
welcome.
So my name is Rowan,
My name is Chris.
and yeah, we do this approximately once a month,
Yeah. That sounds about
Approximately.
right.
thereabouts.
Seems like it.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And oh, I'm sorry. Before we get going too much, because I normally don't have one earlier in the day, because then that's all I want to do. But I went and got Guinness because it was too much fun not to. So to your health.
Well, being as it's October and Octoberfest time, I went and got a German beer. This is aged. It's a smoked beer.
I'm
And-
very curious.
It's actually from the town that I lived in when I was a kid in Germany. They make this. They smoke the hops, and that's how they make the beer.
So is it a stout or a porter? What is it?
Well, this one is an Urbach. They also make a Märzen, which would be much more traditional for Oktoberfest, but
Okay.
they didn't have any of that at the store. I'm lucky that they had aged at all. So
Well, to be fair, I'm half German, so I've already brought that much German, but I'm also half Irish, and Guinness.
Prost.
To you.
Mm.
That's a hell of a head.
Yeah, it is.
What are your thoughts
Poured
on
it
it?
a little hard. Oh, it's lovely.
yeah.
It's lovely. Smoky beer. I mean, what's not to love?
I mean, I am very curious. But my problem is I go for those beer flights, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay, I'll get this one stout, and then I'll try this other stuff, and the only thing I like is the stout, and I don't like any of the other stuff because I don't like things. So, like, no, it's like whenever I talk about something like I have to go play, and Joylene, my wife, goes, yeah, but you hate music. I'm like, I don't hate music. I kind of hate music. The only thing I hate more than music is not playing music. Did I?
Well-
oh, I'm sorry. You go right ahead. Sir.
No, I was going to say, you don't hate your own music, right?
I do play. Are we keeping it PG-13? Or are we going hard R for today's broadcast? What are your feelings?
Player's choice.
Well, when I go into practice for something like this or having to play, I play a game that I like to call "Fuck This Song," because I'll start practicing and I'll make it like halfway into the verse and I'll go, fuck this song, I hate it, and then I'll flip the page and go on to something else. It's so the answer to your question is it depends on when you ask me.
I hear you.
Yeah, because I do. I play that game far too often to be you don't know when you're being constructive and seeing like which songs are better or what needs work, and when you're just like punching yourself in the throat, metaphorically speaking.
Metaphorically. Yeah, it would
No.
be very hard to actually punch yourself in the throat. So
Yeah, after a while, something's gonna give way, and you don't want that.
probably your shoulder.
Probably something like something. See, I was thinking windpipe, like you like, and if you're wearing a ring, there could be the whole accidental tracheotomy thing, or there's a lot of ways to go. I'm trying not to hit these when you have your beer in your face, because that's just rude. But yeah, no, it depends. I like about 7 of my songs at any particular time. The rest of them, we have nothing to do with each other, which is, I appreciate people who like really work on their songs and craft them and they're good with them and they're like rearranging them and doing stuff. And I'm saying, fuck this song and go write something else. I'm bad at practicing for that reason because I'll start getting a different idea and I'll start doing that instead. That does happen, I'm afraid. A lot. But I do have one that I don't hate at the moment. I could play it.
That would be lovely.
I could do that. We could jump right into the musicking.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eric.
That's me. And his reverb pedal. Anyone could come up with a goal, do the work to make it clear. Craft a plan with incremental moves and such to last throughout the year. Show initiative and nerve, blaze a path for all to see. With intellect and moxie and such style, what a wonder it would be. But see, we've already gone on too long. No one wants to hear this song. We're local failures, we know how to do it wrong. You see, it takes a different sort of mind to forge a losing road. One untroubled by successes and achievements or advances someone showed. Standing to the side while others go about their lives and make their way. Baffled by the compromise and necessary steps to make it pay. But hey, maybe the idea was strong, but you know if you listen this long, we're local failures, we know how to do it wrong. All your friends will tell you you're only wasting time, you can't get back. All your friends are right, don't let it stop you. Let it stop you. So maybe if this hits too close to home and you can't imagine how to continue on with effort that seems futile and misguided even now. How far you may have gone to be the hammer and the nail, there's always time to crash and burn. It's never too late to fail. Let's fail. Let this be your hope swan song. It's really you from all along. We're local failures, we know how to do it wrong. We know how to do it wrong. We know how to do it wrong. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
That will continue to make me laugh. Don't know why.
I know, right?
But there it is.
Well, hey to Jared Michael out there. What's up, man?
Is there a Jared Michael out there?
Yeah. He says he's at the Roanoke Airport, and
well, hey,
he's gonna get on his plane soon. But he figured he'd stop by and say hey.
Oh, that was nice to see on YouTube of all places. That's nice to see. Hope
And
he's
then
doing well.
Kristen- Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, and then Kristen's watching while she does stuff at home. So. Too.
Well, that's
So,
nice
hey,
too.
Kristen.
It's always nice when people stop by. Yeah, Jared, I believe I think they were out of town. We were supposed to play the open mic, and
that's
he's
right,
like,
yeah.
actually, I think they were like in some horrible place like Martha's Vineyard. Like, you poor bastards. How could you? Whatever will you do with yourselves?
I've never been there.
I've heard it's stunning, but no, I've never been either.
Hey, Ray.
I don't think I know Ray.
Ah, Ray's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
We
I
go
get
way
it.
back.
You have friends. We talked about this earlier in the pregame. It sounds really nice. I hope to have friends one day. Would you like to play a song for your friend?
Yeah. So,
That will always make me laugh. I'm like, yeah, I got to hit the button. There he is.
I need a capo for this.
He's Rowan Corbett. He doesn't need the capo for this. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend and yours. Well, yeah, he's my friend too. He is.
See, you do have a friend.
I have, well, singular. Your friend and yours, Rowan Corbett.
Watching me melt down, hearing me break. Charm and strange, but longer insane. Such cold vision that we can't bear to watch. But radiation is deadly and we're fused to this spot. As it all rains down, ashes sift to the ground, move like waves. We strike with the force of light, and as we speed through space, time comes grinding to a halt. Neither here nor there. We span the space between it all. Now we're hot in the cold, we're thriving on strife, only counting decay, breathing half-life. So we'll bleed out this heat, we'll shine in the dark, permeate the aether and try not to spark. As it all rains down, ashes sift to the ground. We move like waves, we strike with the force of light. And as we speed through space, time comes grinding to a halt. Neither here nor there. We span the space between it all. Between it all. Watching me melt down, hearing me break. Charm and strange, no longer insane. Such cold vision that you can't bear to watch. But radiation is deadly and fused to this spot.
That's my friend Rowan. He played a song. I enjoyed his song that he played when he played his song.
Well, thank you, man.
Thank you. So you are or are not a Dune person? You're a Dune person, right?
I'm a Dune person. I'm solidly a Dune person.
Okay, yeah. I remember that conversation. The wife, as you know, is a huge Dune person. Like, read all 6 books, tried reading the ones the son wrote. Like, it's her favorite work of fiction. I think pretty close. And her birthday was Friday, and one of the things for her birthday was that she got to watch the new Dune movie and make us watch it with her. But the thing is, that's with a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old and me, who doesn't understand. So things would happen and we wouldn't understand what happened. And she'd try to explain, and then something else would happen. And then I'm like, I don't know about this. And then have you seen it yet?
I have.
Yeah. Thoughts and feelings?
Well, I'm going to go as spoiler free as I can. But I feel like, it's hard to compress all that into a single movie, even like that half of book that they did. That's like literally like the first half of the first book. And it's hard to compress all of what that story is into 2.5 hours.
Yeah. She said she felt like they did a good job. I will say, again, no spoilers, but the stuff that happened in the last 15 minutes is what actually drew me in.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff, and I enjoy speculative fiction. I went through I call it speculative fiction even. I went through a good run, a lot of Heinlein, some Robert Aspirin in there. Tried Asimov, a little dry, but I had my time. I never made it to Dune, but the movie was just, I could see there's a lot of things going on, and I felt like there was a lot of portent and import, that it was just kind of an ominous build. And then the stuff that happened, oddly, that stuff that we're not going to talk about is what got me. And it's funny because I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this movie, and then I like woke up thinking about it the next day. So I'm like,
it's very complex, very deep.
And I want to watch it again, actually.
Yeah. And one of the things I find frustrating about it is that, and let me preface here, I'm on board with with criticism of the white savior narrative.
Fair.
It makes sense to me. But this story is not that. And a lot of people are like, it's just another. No, like when Frank Herbert wrote Dune, he was basically, it's like him saying, wow, look at all these people screwing up the planet, and it's absolutely saying, it's the other direction. It's saying, do you really want these charismatic people, taking over, people who want power and the way they get it through manipulation and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, so if that is something that's holding you back from watching this film, I suggest you try it. And because they do address all that stuff head on. Even in the movie, they address it head on. So
I thought, I thought it was interesting. I had so little idea that was what was going on at times, other than portent, that now that I felt like I got the gist, I felt like they tied it up for being like a, I saw one joke that said, I thought the new Dune movie was beautiful and basically a 2.5-hour trailer for the next Dune movie. I'm like, it's like, you're not wrong exactly, but I was so taken with what happened toward the end, again, no spoilers, that I want to go back and watch it again, and be newly horrified by a few of the things in it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
In the next couple of days. So
yeah, I don't know when I'll watch it. I think we'll try to watch it without children, because there was a lot of what does that mean? What is happening? Can I play with my phone? Some of that may have been me. But yeah, I want to give it a shot though. I don't know if it's enough to get me to read the book, but it's got nothing to do with the book. I think I've turned the corner where I can actually start reading a little bit again. Like my brain just couldn't handle it forever. Like it just, there's a reason all my songs are 3 minutes long, because it's all I got. Yeah. But I just read Elvis Costello's memoir, which was at parts very affecting and fascinating, and at parts very affected and irritating. So he's a very interesting guy. He puts a lot of time. Oh, the score! I'm sorry, I just saw Kristen's
So
thing.
Kristen's comment. Yeah. The score is amazing for Dune.
Hans Zimmer, was that Zimmer?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was curious who it was, so I like clicked through, and there's a whole article about all like the found instruments and stuff. I haven't gotten to read it yet, but it was like, and all the all that stuff.
Drum sting that happens. That like I love that thing. It's so cool. Hey, look, it's Cowboy Cliff.
Hey,
man, we miss you.
Good to almost see you, Cliff. That hat looks a little small though. I'm a little confused. I believe you own ball caps, but I gotta say, maybe a little disappointed. Everybody's allowed a ball cap day, but when you have the quality of chapeaus that you do,
that is true. He's got
one
some
would
great
hope.
hats.
Yeah, he comes in, he says hello, I criticize. I apologize, Cliff. Great to see you.
All right. Well, you better make it up to him by playing him a good song.
Well, I'll play him a song.
Okay. All right. Acceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Eric.
As me. I don't mind the pain. It's the inconvenience filtering out only the bits that make sense. Time remains undefeated in every case. Everything stains. No one is saving your place. Say what you want. Say what you want. Say what you want. Why change anything now? So everything's fixed. Lucky we worked it out. Tell all your friends we just removed all doubt. Say what you want. Decide later if it was cruel. Nobody wants to be the exception that breaks the rule. Say what you want. Say what you want. Say what you want. Why change anything now? Make it good for me. No matter how bad it seems. Make it worse for me. I know there's truth in every dream. Pull down the shade. That'll make it go Thank you.
Is that the Chris chord?
A D7?
Well, there was it the minor 7 that people were like, "What is that chord you do?"
Oh no, that's a different song.
Okay.
That I know the one you're talking about. That's in we're both hitting the same buttons at the same time. That's fun. That it's the diminished. It's the
Oh yeah, right.
yeah that. Yeah, Joylene coined that term, Christ, in the late '90s. It's like the Chris chord. It's going along. It's going along. It's going along. Left turn. Okay, back again. So.
I like that though.
Yeah, thanks. It's
Keep
funny
them on
when
their
some,
toes.
yeah, it's funny. I don't expect people necessarily to get thrown at all, but I'm confused when somebody who plays piano is thrown by it. It's like all you do is go all over the place. Oh, thanks, Kristen. I like it too. I do not usually say fuck that particular song, and it's fun to play too. I get to channel my inner little wing.
Nice.
I'm left-handed. There's a picture of me when I was like 18 in a tie-dye Hendrix shirt with shoulder-length hair and an expression that could only be interpreted as "Please slap me, I'm a dick." Because I will find you that picture. You tell me if I'm wrong. But nice. Yeah. No, that scored a Dune though. That was like. And we finally broke down and got the sound bar with like a little subwoofer in the living room, and like stuff like that. It was made for that. It was pretty amazing.
I need to. That reminds me. I gotta like make sure I go and like listen to that soundtrack. Just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know,
it's that one, and it's up there with Fury Road though. Fury Road had an insane score to it. A lot of a lot of like it's almost like slowed down Kubert noise, but
Did
without
he do
the
that
hit
one too?
at the end. No, it was somebody else, like somebody. Now I can't remember. I'm a big fan of it, but I can't remember it. Apparently, there's a shiny and chrome version of Fury Road that's in black and white, and it's silent except for the score. And
wow!
And I'm very curious. Did you like Fury Road?
I did. It took me a long time to actually get around to seeing it.
Yeah, I loved it. I think that's one of those movies that you either get that it's not just about a long left turn or you don't. They're just driving to a place and then they're driving. No, that's not. I'm sorry you didn't see it, but there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is.
I love that they just drop you in the middle of it. Like, we ain't explaining shit.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, I have to cop to the fact that I haven't seen Mad Max, the original Mad Max, as an adult. I think the last time I saw it, I was like 8 or 9 or something like that. Something ridiculous.
I was a little older than that. That was way too young, by the way.
It was way too young.
But I don't even want to think about how young I was when I saw The Shining.
Oh, God.
And when I saw... Are you familiar with a little movie called A Man Called Horse?
I'm familiar with it, but I've watched it, but I barely remember it.
Yeah.
It was the same time frame.
Yeah. The falling out of the car explanation of it is white guy tries to become a Native American. And they... Like, I don't remember a lot from it, but I do remember them putting hooks into him as part of his, like, initiation and, like, hanging him. And I was, 8 or 9 or whatever it was. Just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being 8 or 9 and watching Videodrome and, like, just.
You should not be able to see any of his fantastic movies. He makes amazing movies, but. It's not my thing, but like body horror, all that stuff. I was just like, that fucking Videodrome and fucking The Fly, Cronenberg. I couldn't pull the name.
Yeah.
And and he did the one where Jeremy Irons played the twins, right?
Oh, I don't know what that one is.
Oh, what's it called? It's also horrifying, lots of body horror, weird stuff. Ugh, should not have seen that. Not really a horror movie guy on account. Every once in a while, like an interesting zombie movie idea will come along. Like I really loved 28 Days Later. I thought it
was good. There were some weirdnesses about it, but
yeah.
So some inconsistencies, but
I think that's like albums you love. Like there's going to be a shitty song or two, but you either love the album or you don't. You know, and it's like I really enjoyed that take on it, and I'm not a big zombie movie guy, but I like when they take things like that and they look at other, you know, like I thought that was a really interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
And there's also one called Zombies, like A-H, Zombies, ! And are you familiar with it?
No.
It's the conceit of it is, you know, they're in a bunch of teenagers are in a bowling alley and some like radioactive goo gets put into their soda and they drink it and they get turned into zombies. But from their point of view, they're still just people talking to each other. And whenever like a non-infected person will go by, you'll see them go by in like, you know, like sped up, like, and then every once in a while it'll cut to like they had like a makeout scene, and like two of the zombies are going to kiss each other, and the two of them, they're just seeing each other and they're getting ready to kiss, and then it shows what's actually happened is two zombies going. So
that's a clever idea for
it's
a movie.
It's a pretty funny conceit. Every once in a while there's one of those. There's that one. There's Fido, which is really good. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's Billy Connolly plays. They basically figure out a way to domesticate zombies. Like they have like a collar, and it's pretty good. Like that one's pretty funny. You know, every once in a while, and there's one called, I guess I do like those. Yeah, the weird ones. Yeah. There's one called Life After Beth where Aubrey Plaza dies and comes back. You know,
oh God,
yeah, and it basically gets by on the fact that you can kind of buy her as somebody who would eventually get super strength and start eating people. You know, so that one's a lot of fun too.
Well,
but not as much fun as hearing one of your songs.
Yeah. Well, you know, all this talk about zombies and stuff, I was thinking about, you know, not only is this Octoberfest time, Prost, but it is also Halloween time. So
I've heard that.
So I don't really do a lot of scary songs, but I'm going to do fair enough. I'm going to do an old Irish song called I Am Stretched on Your Grave. So, not particularly scary, but, you know, it's, you know,
I mean,
sort
the
of
title.
like,
It
it's
might
very
all be
gothic.
in the title.
It's very gothic.
It might all be in the title.
I am stretched on your grave and will lie here forever. With your hands held in mine, I'd be sure we'd not sever. My apple tree, my brightness, 'tis time we were together. Oh, I smell of the earth, and am slain by the weather. My family thinks that I'm safe in my bed. From night until morning, I am stretched at your head. Calling out to hell, tears both hot and wild. Oh, I grieve for the girl that I loved as a child. Oh, in your cold grave, I cannot sleep warm. I'm stretched on your grave and will lie here forever. With your hands held in mine, I'd be sure we'd not sever. My apple tree, my brightness, this time we were together. For I smell of the earth, and I'm slain by the weather.
Is that a Rowan ending?
Yeah, that's a Rowan ending.
Because I wasn't sure. Because I heard you hit something. I'm like, and
That's the way
and
we
look,
do.
it was like I've heard that. I was actually doing something I never do. I was playing along. I was like, I was doing.
Nice.
I was like, what was I doing? And I was.
Oh, nice. Oh, that might have actually worked out, because it's just floaty enough that it might work over the latency. So
Yeah. It was just I was like fun with volume swells.
nice. Dig it.
I forget how much easier this guitar is to play. Like, it weighs 1,000 pounds, but it's a lot easier to play than the other guitar. So like, I'm sitting down. So I was like, oh, I guess I can do that
one's
stuff.
heavy though?
The Telecaster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare.
I find them to be like way lighter than like Gibsons though.
What Gibson?
Like the Les Pauls.
Oh no, you must have played a balsa wood Les Paul. Les Pauls are like made of dark matter. They're like the heaviest.
I was saying they're really heavy. Les Pauls are
Yeah.
really heavy.
No,
But,
Les Pauls are super heavy, but these are pretty heavy. I think the kind of wood this is, but also like I'm slight, so I had a period where I had to stop playing this because it would put my arm to sleep.
Oh my
While
god.
I was playing it, yeah. It's just like just have to buy a shoulder because it wasn't working out. But seated, it's great. Like I put a strap on. I was walking around with it a little bit. I'm like, maybe it's okay. Nope, still not okay.
You got to get one of those really wide straps. That helps.
No,
'cause
I
it
have
spreads
one.
out there. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly what I do. Yeah, I bought like a bass strap, and it's still like they just basically need to buy new shoulders, so it's something that'll hold it up. Yeah,
Well,
I'll
this
understand.
guitar is made by a guy from Frederick, Maryland, named Jack D'Amico.
Oh,
And
cool.
it's really heavy.
For
I've
an
got
acoustic?
for an acoustic. I've got my Tacoma. I have a Tacoma EM9, which is very similar in like look and feel to like a Taylor.
Okay.
And it's so much lighter compared to this guitar.
Yeah, that's weird. What would make an acoustic? Isn't an acoustic mostly air? Isn't it supposed to be a box?
It's got like it's rosewood,
Okay.
back and sides, and it's handmade.
So the hands make it heavy.
Yeah, and I think the neck is actually pretty thick too. So I think that's where a lot of the weight is.
That's a good idea. Cliff is like, what did he say? Put it in a stand and stand behind it. Yeah, and that's
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those
that's
are
like
kinda
full
cool.
on Eagles though. Isn't that the? Yeah, it's just it. It used to be okay. It was okay for a while, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it's just heavy. I started when my band, which may or may not, well, that's a different story. But when we were practicing, I was playing the casino, which I always play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and even that, like after a 3-hour band practice, I'm starting to get a little funny.
Yeah.
But but I'm old and breaking down. I'm going to be 50 next year, so nothing is working properly right now.
Well, I'm not
fine.
far behind you. Not far behind you. So.
Yeah, don't you have a birthday coming up?
I do. Just a couple weeks. I'll be 46.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, so you're going to be 36, right?
46.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So you and Joylene are pretty close in age. I guess she's a little younger. She just turned 45.
Yeah.
So for the moment, you guys are the same age.
For the moment, yeah.
Yeah, until you're not.
Until we're not.
Yeah.
And my age will match the current number of president.
There you go. Wow,
So, got that going for me.
This past year must have really sucked.
I know, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
Anyway,
that.
well, for other reasons too, but
Yeah. Oh yeah. Although there's a really, again, I blame my recent reading, but there's a really good Costello song called 45 that's about turning 45. It's about the year 1945. It's about 45 records. It's really well done. Like some of his stuff was
I'll have to look this up.
too cute by half, but that's a really good song. And it has one of those great breaks where like the guitars just go on the vocal and then the band kicks in, and every time I'm like, like hit it. Like, happy that it's coming. It's like, here it comes. It's coming. Here it is. Yay! Yeah, just have you find your happiness where you can.
Yeah. He did that album with the Roots. I need to go back and listen to that again.
That I haven't heard. What I heard like a song, and I'm like,
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, it's been a while. I don't remember it super well at the moment. But
I had gotten over my Elvis thing by the time that came out. Like I got into him in my like mid-20s, which is late for a lot of angry white dudes. Usually you hit it in your teens, and I wasn't just interested in the angry. Like I was really impressed by his songs, and that he could take that, unpleasant of a vocal instrument and bend it to his will. I ended up really loving like his the one he did with the Brodsky Quartet, the Juliet Letters, is beautiful. And he did an album with Burt Bacharach with an orchestra.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing.
I love that record, Painted from Memory. And there's some beautiful, beautiful stuff on there. And, the orchestrations are pretty good, too, because, Burt Bacharach. I bought that the day it came out, actually, and really loved it. But yeah. But I just kind of lost my interest in him. And I kind of went more toward Nick Lowe. I really enjoy that he did like power poppy stuff early on, and then he did something you're not supposed to be able to do, which is he shifted streams and started writing these small, very intimate songs. And I went one day. I went to Joylene. I'm like, I think Nick Lowe might be better than Elvis Costello. And she looked at me like, and she's like, yeah, honey, that's like I've been waiting for you to get it. Like I've been waiting for you. She's a very patient woman. She really put the time in. I'll tell you that story off air.
Right.
But I think I have another song, if that's okay.
All right, yeah.
I had a little bit of time, which I don't usually have, is I got to pull some songs and think about the ones I wanted to play. And this is one of the ones I eventually I'll get there. I don't know if I've gotten there yet, but I have it in the back of my head. Like I'd love to have a soul group. I've always wondered.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh yeah.
I can dig that. I can see
yeah.
I can see that in your playing.
Right, look at that.
I can see that in your playing.
Yeah.
I would buy that album.
I used to know Soul Man. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice.
No, I love Steve Cropper to death. But yeah, no, it's definitely there. But I've always that particular, like my buddy Tony is like a blues diehard. He's like, one day he like out of nowhere, he's like, so do you have like a form of music that you feel is just getting bastardized and screwed up, and you don't like what people do with it. He's like, I feel that way about the blues. It's like, do you have anything like close to your heart? I'm like, yeah, soul music, like 60s soul, 70s funk. Those are the things that like I go back. I'm like, I don't like nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. And I do think like things are like 94% of the way things are, as bad as some things are still better now than they were, you know?
Yeah.
But like, there's some of those records, and I'm like a Stax and Volt guy, and you know, the Otis and Sam and Dave and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is, as much as I love, it's really having to separate a horrible person from their amazing work. Like, you know, Phil Spector, for example.
Right.
You know, like,
right.
you know, like, it's like he was great at math, but he killed somebody. You know what I mean? Like they have this amazing facility, and I want to say he was like, I'm trying to remember. I knew the exact numbers before, but you know, River Deep Mountain High that he did with Tina Turner.
Yeah.
That was his big Teenage Symphony to God, and it was a flop, and he quit.
Oh, really?
And I believe he was 26. So Phil Spector did all those girl group records, all that stuff, that insane Christmas record, all of that, you know, by the time he was 26.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, I love soul groups intensely. I very rarely hear anything like the first Alabama Shakes record had a good soul feeling, but it didn't feel old. Like it didn't feel like somebody trying to sound like something else.
Yeah.
You know, like as an example of that sort of thing. But yeah, that stuff means a lot to me. I got when the Stax and Volt singles box set came out with like 9 CDs, whenever that came out, I was obsessed with that for a while. Never really bothered to learn to play any of it. That just hasn't been an interest. But like being able to do my own stuff with that would be fun.
Nice.
It comes up every once in a while. But this is one where I tried to write one. See, that's subtle. That's what you call subtle, where you take one and you just kind of go, I'm just gonna slide into this song with a little bit of fizz, and then
nice.
As I forget, like I don't drink much beer these days. And I'm like, it's glorious, but it also kind of dies the tongue out if it's not the health. So I guess I'll go ahead and play this next song, unless you had anything else you wanted to talk about.
Yeah. All gathered. Here is Chris Air.
That's me.
That's you, man.
That's me. There I am. Let's see. It's a start, something that we both need. Miles apart, close enough to see it's bad. Better than we ever had. In a song, baby, you're the backbeat. Good and strong, keeping it on repeat. Oh, better than they'll ever know. All these years of pulling apart seem so strange to find. Out of sight and on my mind. Call me back when the starts to get through, so you know it's only gonna be you. I know enough to hold on. Come on now, say it in my good ear. All those things you know I wanna hear right now. And you know how. All these years of pulling apart seem so strange to find. Out of sight and on my mind. Simple as just ringing a bell, but you can't find the tower. Digging as hard as you can to find a flower. on and take the winner in a suitcase. What's the point trying just to save face? So gotta be better now, 'cause it's a start, something that we both need. Miles apart, close enough to see it's bad, better than we ever had, better than we ever had. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a quick cut. I apologize. But
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
Something
I
you were
always wanted.
saying earlier. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that, like, the instrumentation, like I had a hook I was working on last night when I was supposed to be practicing, and I got a different idea, and I'm like, it started sounding like. Do you ever hear like the when the Jacksons did like the Victory Tour and they started doing like live versions? They did like there's like a live record of that, and they have a medley of some hits, and they're like doing the horn parts, but they're updated a little bit. And I started getting like a hook idea in my head, and it started to kind of, and I'm like, oh God, it sounds like Victory Tour. I guess that's not the worst thing. I guess it's not the worst thing at all. But I'm sorry, you were saying.
I was just gonna say, you were saying earlier how like you sort of like grew apart from Elvis Costello.
Yes.
You sort of like, and like I feel like that is a thing that we need to be able to allow ourselves to do, like a lot of people will hear like a band's new album, and they go, oh man, they suck now, and like, and not give them the space to be like, oh, okay, they're going in a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't, I can't follow, but I get it. You do your thing. I still love your old stuff. And like, Heather of Ilyami, Heather Lloyd,
Unfamiliar.
She did a live stream about a month back, where she did all Indigo Girls and Ani DeFranco stuff. And Ani DeFranco was a huge influence on me and my playing. As I was learning to play guitar, I started listening to Ani DeFranco, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. Oh my God, and I kind of forgot how influential she was on me in a way, because, she started doing kind of more jam bandy sort of stuff, and I couldn't follow. But like, I was like, still love you, but this stuff doesn't do it for me.
No, I know what you mean there. I hit that. I feel like I hit that recently, and it's not even that. It's a very different thing from saying their new album sucks as opposed to they want to do things I'm not interested in right now.
Yeah.
It's weird to hear stuff. We had very different upbringings, because I couldn't have named an Ani DeFranco song. Like, I had heard like a little bit of it. What I heard was fine. It just nothing about it like grabbed me. Like it's just not like my like, there was a thing I meant to send it to you. It's like there's actually an ad for like these T-shirts that say "Boys Get Sad Too," and it's supposed to like normalize like men having depression. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, it's like first of all, I feel attacked. Secondly, I wear a large. Like what are you talking about? And I mentioned that to Joy Lee, and she's like, well, your friends are probably like better with that kind of thing and like more in touch with it. It's like, yeah, but all my friends are like goofy and huggy too, which I think is part of the fun. Like, it's what's the point of getting older if you can't like find your tribe, find the people you like, and find the silliness you enjoy. You don't want to lose. You have to, in some ways you have to grow up, but you don't have to grow up in the boring ways. You can still, like it's the silliness, that's what I love. And that's what I miss about like open mics and stuff, like the in-person, like my friends here, my reprobates here. And, we're falling all over each other, and we're being goofy and hugging and, making bad jokes. And it's like, it's fun. It's so much more fun. You decide what kind of grown-up you're going to be. Just like anything else. Like, you find your way in, other people's ideas of it. That's, hopefully you got some of the right ideas from the grown-ups in your life. But, one of the points of realizing that you're the grown-ups now is like, well, we get to find our way. It's like the whole weird thing with relationships where you hit a milestone and you're like, well, do we have to act differently now? Like when Joylene and I got engaged, things got weird for a while because, like, are we different now? No. Yes, but no. And it's like I said, like, I've had friends who've gotten engaged, and I'm like, congratulations, it is exactly what you decide it is. Your marriage, this weird antiquated thing that had to do with property and everything. If you choose to do it now, today, in this world, you make it exactly what you want it to be, because it's got nothing to do with that and everything to do with your bond with that person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it your way.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Like, I was having that talk with my 9-year-old, because he's starting to hit the point where maybe he thinks he, shouldn't like little kid stuff. And I'm like, buddy, you can like what you like as long as you like it.
Yep.
And if that means you want to be into that thing or whatever, like what you like as long as you like it. And when you don't anymore, then maybe you don't. Maybe you come back to it later, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess I could have stood to be told that, but
I think we all could have,
Turns out it just takes so goddamn long when you have to figure it out on your own,
Yep. Yeah. And that's, that is the weird thing about being human, is that we all, most of us, I feel like there's a few of us who get, like, the benefit of someone who, like, takes them aside early, and it's like, this is what you want it to be, man. You just gotta...
and they can hear it, and then the person is perceptive enough to be able to take that in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, that's because I'm sure I got told lots of useful things. I got told something a long time ago, and it took me a long time to realize it and accept it and work on it. I was in a show with a guy, and we had not gotten along, and then we kind of buried the hatchet, and he's like, look, Chris, you're a good guy, but you're a bad listener. No, you're a shitty listener. And I was like, oh, yes. As it turns out, I am a shitty listener. It took a while for that to sink in. It's like, yeah. It turns out, well, that's like the whole, like, if you think of yourself as a victim, then you can never be in the wrong. It's like, yeah, but what if you're not actually the victim? Oh. And I'm just talking about for me. I'm not talking about for anybody else.
Yeah. Oh, there's this great Key and Peele sketch that ends with,
I came to them so late. I was like, oh my God. And we were able to show the kids, you done messed up, Ron. And we're just all laughing. Nice. Oh, that was beautiful. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, but
not listening,
like,
well.
The sketch ends with, oh, I'm not oppressed. Oh, it's like, no, oh, I get it. I'm not oppressed. I'm just an asshole. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, I was not, I don't know what it was. I think it just came out at a time where I just wasn't interested in whatever I thought it was. And then I got into it like 2 years ago or whatever it was. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. And I think it's crazy that Peele doesn't do any acting anymore. He just like writes and directs apparently amazing horror movies that I don't know if I'm ready to watch.
Yeah.
Have you seen either of them?
I haven't yet, and like
you're not
I'm
there either?
ashamed to say that I haven't yet, because they're like they're movies that I really want to see.
Yeah, they look amazing, but yeah, I'm just not a big horror guy. Like, you gotta catch me on the right day. It's not the horror.
It's just like it's the weight of them. You know,
No.
like I went and saw 12 Years a Slave in the theater, and like I'm really glad I did. It is a heavy film, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and I have like a sort of similar thing with those. I'm like, I've been waiting for like the right time to like sit down and watch them. You know, you got to be in a good headspace for that. So.
Yeah, I've never seen Schindler's List.
I've seen most of it.
Yeah,
the theater, like something happened with the film, and like we didn't get like they actually stopped the film, and like the film broke or something, and you have to come back later, and I never did. So
yeah, it's weird. I don't have any connection, like, you know, spiritual connection really to my Jewish side, but things about the Holocaust just don't draw me in. You know?
Yeah.
You know, I just like, no.
Yeah.
I understand it needs to be documented, all of that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm already sad. You know, it already looks weird to me if I smile.
Yeah.
You know, because it's pained. You know, it's just not natural. Like, smile. Like,
oh man,
I didn't learn to effectively fake smile in pictures. Like, gee, you really want to laugh? I'll show you my wedding pictures sometime. My eyes are all scrunched up, and I'm like, no idea. Just no idea what to do with myself. Just,
oh goodness.
But you know, that was 29-year-old Chris. So, you know, emotional age lop off at least 10 years if you're being kind. I think, man, I've been going on so long. I think it's your turn to play something.
It's my turn.
Right?
Yeah.
Have we sparked anything? Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one's it's a Tori Amos cover.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I'll go back to doing my own songs here. But
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Right.
I have nothing to do with choosing what you play. Just to be clear, I don't think that.
Cold like breeze, cold like wave, lightning seed. Boys on the left side, boys on my right side, boys in the middle. You're not here. I need a bit low from the health zone. Buildings tumbling. Sister Ernestine, but I've still got that bell back in my boots, yes. Buildings tumbling down. Didn't know our love was so small. Couldn't stand it at all. Mr. Stranger, just bring your son. Right on time, you get closer and closer. Call my name. There's no way in. Use that fame. Get your wife and kids today, and maybe she will. Yes, maybe she will. Go to light sneeze. Dreamed a little dream. I made my own. Hate no shame. Boys on the left side, boys on the right side, boys in the middle. You're not here. Boys in their dresses. Thank you.
Very nice.
Love that song. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that's one of the songs of hers I know.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that I've heard before. I like the one. Is it Past the Mission? The one with
yes,
Trent Reznor doing a really uncharacteristically warm vocal.
I remember exactly where I was and what I was doing. The moment I realized that Trent Reznor was doing backing vocals on that song, my mind just went. I'm like, oh my god! Two of my favorite musicians do it like Yeah, so it was funny. Awesome.
That was everybody has their moment. I had like do you know the band the Jayhawks?
Yeah,
They're like for people who don't know, they're like they actually started in the 80s. They're still putting out records now.
Oh wow.
Gary Loris, the singer and guitar player, I love dearly. And they had a brief like overground minute with like Hollywood Town Hall and Tomorrow the Green Grass where they were getting featured on MTV. Remember MTV?
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I do.
They were actually getting featured. I got into some good bands off of 120 Minutes. I got into Buffalo Tom and the Catherine Wheel and like a bunch of really good stuff. But there was a minute there in the everything is available time where I would find out somebody I really liked played on a record. So I would check that record out. And that's how I ended up getting the second Wallflowers album because Gary Loris was on it. And I'm like, ooh. Okay. I was like, oh, that's cool. And I actually love that record. The one after it, Breach, is even better. And Elvis shows up on there, oddly, to tie it back. But singing a harmony vocal. And I love Elvis, but I was like, that's not why I'm here, man. You know, it's just not why I'm here for you. Sorry. You know, it's weird because he'll show up in weird things. Elvis, like, he produced a Squeeze record, and it might be Argy Bargy, but it's the one that has Tempted on it. You know, the Tempted by the Fruit of Another song.
Yeah.
And you can tell because there's like the ride out and people are yelling things, and you hear the unmistakable voice of Elvis yelling, "No milk and sugar, honey." Oh wait, no, it's on Black Coffee in Bed. I take it back. Yeah, Black Coffee in Bed. But yeah, he shows up on there, and you can't miss that voice. It sticks out like a very angry sore thumb. Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking of something, and of course I had forgotten it, which shows you it's a very important thing to think about, which means drink.
I've run out of beer, so back to my soda water.
I am sorry. Yeah, I've been nursing mine. I've been better about it because I opened it before we started, and I'm like, if I pay too much attention to that, it's going to be gone, and I'm just going to be sad.
Yeah. Mine was it's 6.5. 6.5, which is not terrible.
It's not that bad.
It's like half of what the other beer that I've been waiting to drink for a couple of days. I'm like, I was like, if I drink this tonight, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna feel terrible. So I've been holding.
I had that 12.5, and it was, I came around to liking it, but I just ended up feeling very like chewy later, and not in an agreeable, hey, I've been drinking way, just like, nah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And again, Guinness is just, fun. It's like 4.2. It's nothing. But
yeah,
it's just very pleasant, And I hadn't had one since that one glorious draft beer during the week. That was so nice. But yeah.
So you want to give us another one, man?
Yes, sir. There I go talking.
No. I just like it's like the time is slipping away from us.
Yeah, how it just keeps on moving. Okay,
into the future.
Tick tock, tick doo 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 doo. It always hurt my brain that he did that and another album because he was like really busy. He recorded 2 albums worth of stuff all at once, and then like went on tour for 2 years. So he could put out an album then and an album in a year.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were watching some movie. Oh, we started watching La La Land, which
yeah.
I'm kind of digging. And it got like a horrible, like everybody just hated on it so hard. And we watched 15 minutes of it, and we're like, nobody who complained about it likes romantic comedies or musicals. Now, granted,
that's probably
there's specific things, but it's like, the first thing you should do is like, you know they're going to be singing and dancing. Don't watch it. Just don't watch it. You know, like I have a lot of love in my heart for the form, but I also get it if you don't like it. It's like my favorite band's Queen. And when people go, I don't like Queen, I'm like, that's fine. Like, sad for you, but it's not your thing. You know, it's a very specific thing. Yeah. So I hear. Haters are going to hate. evil Taylor Swift. We like hater. Have you seen the evil be like, you know, the meme for that? Oh, it's just like look it up. It's too hard to explain, but it's really funny. But I'll go on and I'll play a song because I will go on as it turns out.
All right, audience. Here comes Mr. Chris Eric.
Yes, and just keep in mind that I'm not. No, I'm not dead in a ditch somewhere. No such luck. Sat into an easy chair, fairly stuck. Instead of wasting your time here, getting hurt, you could be among the stars in the dirt. Careful what you worry over, that could be your fate. There's a hole that's calling you. Don't wait. So tired of doing the math again, coming up short. Who knew the best thing could be the last resort? Careful what you worry over, that could be your end. There's a hole that's calling you. Don't pretend. Quit digging and lay down. Plenty of lost to go around. Nothing to be found, so go to ground. Is it all a little too good for you? There's good news. All it takes to make a dream come true. Better you. Careful what you worry over, that could be your end. There's a hole that's calling you. Don't pretend. No, I'm not dead in a ditch somewhere. No, I'm not dead in a ditch somewhere.
Rowan ending. Nice.
Do all your endings go brah?
No, they're just abrupt.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, it's there.
You know
It
what?
is.
I used to hate fade outs.
actually, what I hated was drummer. I just always hated that. I used to fight in my band so hard. It's like, just stop. We're just gonna stop the song. We have the ending, and you don't do that shit. It turns out, I was also, see previous comment. I was also just kind of an asshole sometimes. It's like, I know how it goes, and I'm like, that's not how bands work. I feel very bad for my former bandmates. I was just awful. Just awful. A lot of time wasted. A lot of time wasted thinking I knew better. Just a lot of time wasted. Nothing to be done, but sorry everyone. Ever. I have a friend whose band I was in years ago, and I just reached out of the blue. I was like, I am really sorry, just for me, just for the way I was. I know it's a pain. And he's just like, hey, you love the puppy, you love the poop. I'm like, thanks, man.
Nice.
Yeah, it turns out we're all living it in real time.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that's why I have, when you're a musician and you're old, such as myself, a lot of your friends who are musicians tend to be younger. And I don't patronize them or talk down to them, because they're living it in real time. Like, I don't know any better than you do for your life. They're living it in real time, and they're as old as they've ever been. Every once in a while something will come up, and maybe you, with the right person, you can share a little bit of information, but more often than not, it's almost like you're not helping by talking about it. It's like, I can't help you with that. Like, I can try, but that doesn't mean I can. Yeah. That's true. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
I
got a couple more. I promised a friend that I would play a couple songs.
Oh, great! Then you should play
do
them.
the first of those now.
So. Would you like to? Just out of curiosity, did you want to do 2?
Yeah.
In a row?
It don't have to be in a row.
Well, no, because if you do 2 in a row, I can run to take care of a thing that is fast enough to be back well before your second song, but I can't be sure that I'll be back in time for first song. I don't need to play 2 songs, but I can if you need to do something similar. But
no, this is good.
Okay. Yeah, and one thing we probably should have talked earlier about how long we wanted to play, but I guess we don't do that. What did we start at 5? Do you realize it's 20 after 6 already?
It's 20 after 6. That's why I was saying, I want to make sure I get these in.
Yeah, then you should definitely play those 2 songs, and then we'll decide what we want to do after that. Sound good?
All right, sounds good.
Okay, ladies, gentlemen, and people of non-binary persuasion, we're all learning in real time.
It's true.
It's true. We're trying. Here is Mr. Rowan Corbett.
Your choice. Can't say that I agree. We know what's best for you won't work so well for me. But do me a favor, if you think you can. Survive what you want long enough. Make it worth it in the end. fucked up long before I met you. To credit to your kindness, you tolerate me where you do. You only ever hurt me 'cause you told the truth. You've got no time for pretense, and you don't suffer fools. Always been willing to go where I can't. I think it's 'cause you're braver than me to some extent, but this feels different, like the ice is finally cracked, but I'm the one who's sinking. And there's no going back. I hope you're right. You're just as charmed as you think. 'Cause I want you to fly, not topple over the grave. Thank you, man.
Very nicely done. Was that song 1 or song 2?
That was song 1. That was song 1.
Okay, then I'll be quiet. Once again, Mr. Rowan Corbett.
This is called Unbreak. What if you just said it, not the contest of rules? I'll give you my attention as you make your reveal. Been heading it for years now, that much is plain. Now it's finally happening. We're being honest again. You said what you had to say. Now we know where you stand. Why don't we call it a day? between us, where signals are lost, stretching out through a darkness only silence can cross. But you said what you had to say. This feels like an end. You should probably just stay away. Your point has been made. When you said what you had to say, but let me be clear. This is us that you can't unbreak.
Rowan Corbett. That's a good one. Oh, just curious, is that going to be on a solo record, a Hostel and Ruin collaboration, or an Ilyami proper?
That is actually planned to be on the solo recording. Hostel and Ruin, who don't know, is just like it's me and Rob when we play just as a duo. And that's just an informal title, but
it's a great title, though. It should not. You should formalize it. That.
So, I've been really thinking about this recording for, like, seriously for the last year. And
yeah, remember when we said we were going to both make solo records?
Well, I feel like this month or this coming month, I finally have time. I'm not, I do contract work. And so, I don't have anything coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I'm actually planning to start, putting down some tracks in a couple of weeks here, like, not this week, but next week. So, yeah. So
I do not have that plan, but I'm happy for you.
So, but yeah, that's the plan is November, coinciding with my birthday, starting the solo album. So
your birthday month is solo album time. That makes sense.
Or at least that's how I'm gonna get started. So instead of NaNoWriMo, I'm gonna start recording my album.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Wait, what is
NaNoWriMo is National Writing Month.
Writing?
It's like it's National Novel Writing Month. That's what it is.
Oh, I thought you were saying riding. I'm like, horse riding?
No. Writing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry, I need to enunciate better.
It's all right. I need to listen with more.
I'm from the South, and so there are certain words that I do not enunciate properly.
I understand.
Properly.
I am from Baltimore, so sometimes there are words I don't hear correctly.
It's all right, hon.
Yeah, thanks. You won. Nobody believed I was from Baltimore because I say it with 3 syllables. I still have my ever so slight Canadian accent from all those years of watching. You can't do that on television.
Yeah.
My dad with his flat Philadelphia accent would make fun of me. Oh, Dodd, poor Dodd. It's like, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Yeah. All doing what we can in real time, except for those of us who aren't.
Dear God.
Yeah. I certainly don't have to play another song. It is getting past 6:30.
I think it would be fitting if you were to play another one.
I mean, I can. I certainly don't have to.
Do you have anything in mind?
I do. I actually have one. When all of the unpleasantness of 2020, as far as people getting horribly ill and all the things that happened, just started really hitting home, I had this very strange cognitive dissonance of, it's awful, it's horrible, people are dying, people are losing their jobs, I am spending more time with my family than I ever had, and this is beautiful. So I had a really hard time with it. And also, like, I miss my friends, I can't see my friends, but there's this, there are these virtual open mics where I'm making new friends and people I never knew, and I'm writing songs that I'm really happy with. And this was from that run where it seemed early on in March, April, May of 2020, when we started doing these things, June into the summer, everybody was writing very angry political songs, and that's just not how my head runs. That's just not. And maybe I should be more aware of politics. I was forced to become more aware of politics in the last 5 years, which I will never forgive certain people for, because I was enjoying having nothing to do with politics for my entire life, which is a lie and a nice place to be, but yeah. But everybody was writing these really angry songs, and I was angry, but I'm more sad than angry most of the time. And I just missed my friend, and I just wanted a chance to hang out, and again, it's Erie, so everybody drinks, and I just wanted to have her come drink in my driveway. So here's that song. Come drink in my driveway where everyone can see. Come drink in my driveway, spend some time with me. I know, can't be alone, not now. But a little of you is worth it anyhow. Come drink in my driveway, we can't get too close. Come drink in my driveway, you can make the toast. I know you have your busy life to live, but I'll take whatever you can give. Believe me when I say it's all I want. Ignore me when I start to cry, whenever I say take it back. Believe me when I say, believe me when I say, come drink in my driveway, anytime is good. Come drink in my driveway, if you think you should. I know might not be a perfect day, but I can't think a better way to say,
Nice.
Thanks.
I have to admit though, I do miss the Cosi ending on that one. But
Yeah, it happens more often than not, but it doesn't really, like, I brought up my friend, and like that doesn't really fit when talking about my friend.
Yeah.
So
I get you. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
you.
I
And
don't
it
wanna-
makes sense why you changed it. So
yeah. For that particular moment in time, it seemed necessary to. It seemed prudent to go with the safer version. You know.
So
Yeah.
nice.
So there's that. Yeah, and that was also like the first thing I wrote during one of the first things I wrote during lockdown that got some attention. And I'm like, oh, turns out people liking your songs is nice. I'm not used to that. This is a nice. Again, I've done myself any favors. Horrible person. So it's like a lot of hiding in the corner and like going like this whenever anybody tried to talk to me. Wasn't pretty. I mean, on the inside anyway. You're like, why is Chris staring off into space? Now you know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry, everyone.
Hey, we've all had something similar, I feel. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot.
especially in this day and age.
Yeah, things are oddly confusing in a different way now, because they were scary, but even though they were horribly uncertain, they were also certain. Like no shows, nothing's going on. Do online stuff and drink too much. Okay, I know how to do those things. You know, and now it's like there's stuff, and you can go to stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you should go to stuff. Like, there are plenty of people like, go to stuff. It's fine. Go to stuff. And I'm like, no. I've seen people going to like, you know, I don't mean shows like you and me playing shows. I mean shows like
big shows. Yeah.
like big shows, like amphitheater shows. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
I just
the number of people I know who in the last like 2 weeks have had breakthrough infections has really like every couple of days I'm hearing of someone else, you know.
And I have a friend who did that, and there aren't a lot of people I know who I consider more cautious than myself about these things. I consider you more cautious than me. I consider him. He's one of those people, like, I've never seen him without a mask anywhere, you know, and he stays away, and he's just one of those guys. And he was vaccinated, and he was a right-thinking person, and he was always careful, and he had a breakthrough one. Wow. And we had our scare with our 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And you know how they have those moments in the movie where the person's like, you know, they're like, I don't pray, but at that moment, I was as close as I've ever been, because I got scared. I just I had that moment. I think I talked to you about it, and and people who don't have kids hate this, but it's true. If you don't have kids, you don't understand, because there's a part of you walking around out there. It's different, and you can't, you know, you want to do anything to keep them okay. And I had the horrible flashback of when they were tiny, and you just think, if I don't watch, it's just gonna go out of them like a puff of smoke, and they're gonna be gone. And I thought that was gone, like that kind of fear. It's never gone. It's never gone. And I got so scared, and the fact that next day it turns out now that kids are around each other again, they can get colds. and 24-hour
colds.
flus. And he just had a nasty flu. But he had like a fever and he wasn't making a lot of sense. And then the next day, I think I told you, like the next day, like I told him he had the day off, even though they're like, if he doesn't have it, you know, you can take him to school. And I'm like, no. And he was feeling kind of crappy and he started trying to turn his iPad on for school. And I'm like, buddy, take the day. Just, it's fine. And like 10 o'clock, he came bopping out. I'm like, I'm feeling better. I'm like, good, go back to bed. Like, just go back to bed, play video games, read, watch something, take the day. Just, it's okay. Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, when I see people, the breakthrough thing, because like the people I know, and frankly, the people who are like vaccinated and smart, like, it's weird that they get breakthroughs. It's like, but you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
the winter's going to be weird.
Yeah, I'm waiting for all this to be behind us. And I don't know when that's going to be, but
I don't know.
Well, I feel like one of us has to do another song, just as a palate cleanser.
As a palate cleanser. I don't know. I always like hearing you. I did go first, so I
did go first, but I did too.
Yeah, but that was a special situation. Promises were made, and I hate all the rest of these songs. So you should probably play something.
All right, let me see what I can come. Oh, you know, I know exactly what to do. Where is it?
What you gonna do?
Where is it? I'm gonna do. I wrote this song, for our open mic song challenge.
Oh yeah.
And it was about the passing of David Bowie. And you know, I came to Bowie kind of later in life. You know, like later in his career even, you know, I knew of him, but it wasn't like, you know, I didn't know all of his stuff. Like a lot of people did. And like I jumped on when he sort of started like futzing around with industrial music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was doing all that stuff with Reeves Gabriel's. But you know, he was influential on me. You know.
Oh yeah, and Reeves makes the best noises. He makes the best really ugly guitar noises. I love him. I got into him and Morello right around the same time.
Oh yeah,
and just the mind bending. You want to talk about, because again, reading guitar magazines, they're always like, you know, you have to know the rules to break them. You have to know the rules to break them, and that was so tiresome. And then you heard those two, who were, you know, educated musicians who knew exactly what they were doing, and then, you know, Gabrels would use like a vibrator on his guitar, you know.
Yeah.
they made the most glorious noises. They still do. Gabrels, I think he's in The Cure now, of all things.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
seems like a waste of a hell of a talent, but that's just me. I loved him in Tin Machine. I love both of those records. I listened to them not too long ago. They hold up. They're really good. And Soupy Sales' kids are the rhythm section.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I think my two, like the two David Bowie albums that like really are like the epicenter for me are Outside and Earthling.
Wow. That is very specific.
They're deep cuts. They're like, you know, but they're also like very edgy and very jazzy.
Yeah.
You know.
And White Noise Black Tie too is in there, kind of, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. So, but yeah. All right. So this song is called Serious.
Rowan Corbett, everybody.
You knew, but of course you did. wouldn't have got this far with the life you led. Always, always on trend, ever the shooting star. Always one step ahead. Headed straight for the dog star. Too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. Some sleight of hand, you soar above the crowd. Crane hour next to sea. Follow, follow your gaze as you gasp aloud. You'll make this last degree. Every star in the sky, distant fire, every light is shining bright. Head straight for the dark star, too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. You slipped away. Well, of course you did. Could only go so far. The sense, the day. One step ahead, like you always are. You'll light the way. Head straight for the dark star. Too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust. Headed straight for the dark star. Far too fast for us. All the wonders before you, all made of dust.
Ha! I was ready for you. Clappity clap clap.
Ah, goodness.
Hide. There we go. Now see, at the end on the last song, we finally worked out the division of labor. Like, I'll hit this button, and you hit that button, and we'll be fine. I'll meet you in the middle.
Nice.
Yeah, that's funny. I almost got my guitar out and started playing the beginning riff of Ziggy Stardust, just to show, like, you know, where my Bowie lies. Because I'm a Mick Ronson guy. But yeah, nice. The Sales Brothers were like on the Iggy Pop record "Lust for Life," like they're a big time rhythm section. So yeah, it's weird that they both ended up being, you know, like not like, oh, isn't that cute? He thinks he's a musician. It's like, no, those guys are for real. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think we're just about to the end.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, this was. I feel like we played well. It was a good show.
I think we did all right. Yeah. Well, it's always, you know, it's always. I always, more often than not, I am. I won't say exactly. It's not that I'm not looking forward to it, insofar as, except that I don't look forward to like any music stuff. Like, oh no, like that's. Like those are the two things. Like when I say yes to a thing, it's like, yeah, and then it's, oh no, and it's always that way. I realized this week, it's like, I love doing stuff with you, and I love talking to you and interacting with you, and I love your music. It's just the me in it that I don't like.
No, man, no.
just like I have to like. I tell Joylene, it's like I gotta go practice, and she goes, "Well, you hate music." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." Grr. But thanks to everyone for sticking around. Those who did, and if you didn't, I understand. But yeah, thanks for the nice comments. I imagine we'll do this again if you're of a mind to do something like this in your birthday month.
I am indeed.
If that's what you want, if it's for, it's a George Burns line. Well, if it's for your health, yeah. But I will most likely see you tomorrow night.
That's right.
Barring something coming up, I should most likely be in at some point. And the weird thing is between, like, even when we don't do this, between like the VOM and then there's your Tuesday night open mic that you and Rob alternate. Is it yours this week or is it his?
No, I'm not there this week. It's I've been in and out. Like I've been in a couple times.
Okay.
It's just like scheduling hasn't worked out super great for me lately.
It's weird because between the VOM, which I don't co-host it regularly enough to be a co-host. I'm just kind of the fill-in, which is fine. It's not a judgment. I'm just saying, but like I'm there however often I'm there and I play it, but I usually make a point to listen, especially, the last few, like when Rob he's like, "Can you jump in?" I'm like, "I'm at the grocery store. I'll be home in 15 minutes. Then I can," but like between listening to that and listening to the Tuesday one and then the live stream, on Wednesdays I feel like I'm doing more than I actually am, when really all I am is like an audience member and an occasional participant. Like I feel like I'm involved. It's like that's the problem I have with social media. It's not the doom scrolling. It's not the seeing people's greatest hits. It's feeling like I am doing more than I'm actually doing. Like I feel like I'm involved and I'm not involved. I'm just like, it's like thinking you're involved with a TV show because occasionally maybe somebody on the show says your name. Right.
It's the voyeuristic engagement thing.
Kind of. But like if I like when the Wednesday live streams, when Heather's there, I end up in the comments and she says something. I'm like, that is me. That's me. I just got mentioned by the TV. They'd say every once in a while I have to shut it down. I'm like, no. They're doing their thing. You have to go do something. I'm like, but I don't want to do anything. Yeah.
So, Joe was Joe in the comments over there on YouTube was saying how he still has an old Tinsmith CD.
That's awesome.
You, man. That's and actually, stay tuned because there actually is likely to be another Tinsmith recording in the next year or so too. So
what?
Yeah.
And for those not in the know, Tinsmith is.
It's the Irish band that I play in. So I used to do Renaissance festivals for a living, and because of that work, I ended up becoming a member of Tinsmith. When we do primarily like Celtic, Irish, and some old time stuff as well, and that was my introduction to the banjo as well. So I didn't start playing banjo until a bit later, but like it was my first time playing with a banjo player, and changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, here I just answered an ad at BaltimoreBands.com looking for a guitar player. And that's how Joylene and I met.
That's awesome.
I joined her college band. It was me and a bunch of Hopkins students. So
nice.
Conversation was pretty good at band practice, I gotta say.
Yeah. I mean, like most of my rehearsals, like there's a healthy amount of chatting and drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we play some music in there somewhere. So
yeah, those are. I used to. That's another one of those things that some people learn when they're young, and some people need time. Like I was like, no drinking. We just have to work, and now I'm like, it's nice to just kind of have it, just kind of open ended and have a drink and chat for a while, and I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss my current band. There are things. Yeah. I miss those guys. The talk was half the fun, honestly, at practice. Like, it's rare when you get older. It's like, yeah, I could see like spending half the day in a garage with these guys.
Yeah.
You know, like we'd have these long, because we're all parents, and we all have just a lot of different things in common. Some not, but it's just a nice. You know how it is. It's a nice when you find a good chemistry. It's like, oh, I just want to be around these people. And it turns out I like the noise we make together. It's like Yahtzee. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But I'm blathering yet again. You are far too kind to let me go on and on. I'm guessing we should bring it in. You always do a better job of closing things out than I do. Would you be so kind as to bring us home?
Right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and those of us who are of different persuasions. This has been the Sunday Happy Hour live stream. We've enjoyed playing for you this evening, and we hope to see you again soon. Good night.
Good night.